proper channel.
Hello mga palangga, ayan, nagbabalik tayo dahil syempre breaking news, no? Kanina nung nag-live tayo, short lang yung nakita natin na like less than 2 minutes yung nirelease ng ibang media. Hindi ko alam, minisplice nila. Kaya, ang bilis tumubo ng hair ko. Di ba? So, ayun, mga panoorin natin at ating bosisiin ang mga sinabi ni Tambaloslos. Alright, so ano ba ito? Laglagan na? Sinong ilalaglag niya? Ito ba ay si Liza Tanas? Sacrificial lamb ba si Liza Tanas? Ibubulgar ba ni Martin Tambaloslos na ang mastermind talaga, ang utak sa lahat ng pagnanakaw ay si Liza Tanas? Or ililigtas na si Bangag? But I don't think na maliligtas na si Bangag, mga kababayan, kasi dito sa kanyang statement, pakinggan muna natin, hindi pala 1 minute yun, it's 11. Oh, wait.
I did so out of respect.
Teka, pakinggan natin. Then, natin.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. For a long time, I chose to remain silent. I did so out of respect for the legal process. I did so because I did not want to add more noise to an already divisive issue. I did so because I believed that if I cooperated fully, submitted myself to the proper authorities, and answered every question asked of me, the truth would eventually speak for itself.
Tumahimik daw siya.
But there comes a point when silence is no longer prudence. My silence has been abused and weaponized to build a narrative that is false, twisted, and unfair. So let me be clear. I will not keep quiet anymore. I will face this head on, and I will speak with facts because the truth deserves to be heard.
Really?
Today, I am taking this opportunity to speak directly to the Filipino people.
Talaga
From
lang.
the start of this controversy, I have been cooperative. I personally appeared before the proper authorities. I voluntarily submitted my affidavit to the ICI. I provided the information and documents asked of me. I did not hide. I did not run. I did not evade scrutiny.
Pero hindi nila nilabas ng affidavit. Pakinggan natin. Tinago ni Ombudsman Bonjing Remullad. Pakinggan natin.
Faced it head on within the proper channel because I know there is no evidence that proves I committed plunder, conspiracy to commit plunder, or any similar offense that the Ombudsman may be contemplating against me.
Wow, walang ebidensya. We'll see.
And because I have nothing to hide, I am today authorizing the immediate public release of the affidavit I submitted, together with all supporting information so that the Filipino people can judge for themselves who has been transparent and who is simply being politically targeted.
Wala daw siyang tinatago, so inaalaw niya o inaatasan niya ang ombudsman na ilabas yung kanyang affidavit na sinabmit during the ICI investigation. Ang question natin dito, nakalagay ba na si Bangag at si Liza Tanas ang mastermind? We don't know kung edited na or what. May tiwala ba tayo sa taong ito? Naglalaglagan na nga ba talaga sila? Sino ang sacrificial lamb? Si Lam, Satanas, ididiin? Pero kahit na idiin niya dito si Liza Tanas, hindi aakto ang executive, ang Bangag sa pagnanakaw. Siyempre, di ba? Kung hindi rin dahil sa power ni Bangag. So hindi porket asawa lang si Satanas, yun ang dudurugin niya. Tignan natin, di ba? Kasi blood is thicker than water. Mabubura na ba ang mga Romualdez Marcos? Tuluyan na? Aabutin ba si Bangag sa 2028? O baka hindi na siya abutin ng Pasko? Tignan natin ang sinasabi ni Tamba.
Now let us address the most absurd accusation of all, that I am supposedly the mastermind of this corruption scheme. How can I be the mastermind?
How can I be the mastermind? So dito ay umiiwas na siya. Inilalabas na yung kanyang picture na hindi siya ang mastermind. Right?
I was the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, but the House of Representatives is only one part of the branch of government, the legislature. The national budget is not conceived, executed, implemented, bidded out, supervised, and completed by one congressman or even by Congress alone, and certainly not by the Speaker of the House.
But pwede kang magsabuatan. That's true. Hindi naman pwedeng kayang magawin ng isang tao lang like yung Speaker of the House. So nagsabuatan kayo, di ba? Which is yan ang expose ni Zaldico. Alright? Pwede siya pwede lumabas sa picture dito kasi mukhang kumbaga, ang sinasabi niya dito, pinanood ko na yung buo niyan, na bago tayo nag-vlog, na parang wala siyang bahid ng korupsyon.
I want to make this simple and clear. The national budget does not depend on just one person.
Pero pwede kayo mag-connives. Di ba? Sabi nga ni Zaldico, inutusan etong si Pangandaman, si Bersamin. Well, alam na natin yan na nagsabuatan sila. But, sige, pakinggan natin.
The budget does not begin in the House. It begins in the executive. The agencies...
It begins in the executive. Meaning, executive branch kay bangag. So kaya nga ang question natin, ano ang nakalagay dito sa affidavit na sinasabi niya, na sinabit niya sa ICI? Nakalagay ba na si Marcos Jr. ang kanyang pinsan na ang tunay na nag-utos o kung ano pa yung mga attachment katulad kanina na sinabi natin? Ito ba ay sincere? Ito ba ay what? Palabas lamang. Tingnan natin.
And departments prepare their proposals. The executive consolidates them into the National Expenditure Program. And that program is then submitted to Congress. From there, the House deliberates, but the House is not one person, and it is certainly not the Speaker alone.
So, pinapaliwanag niya na hindi lang siya not the Speaker alone ang decision maker. So, may nagde-deliberate. Alam naman natin yun, na nagde-deliberate, nag-uusap, nagsasabuatan, pare, dagdag mo yung ko dyan, no? Di ba? Dagdag mo yung 10 billion, 3 billion, mga ganon, di ba? So, hindi naman aakto ang isa lang kasi magkakasabwat nga kayo dyan sa Congress.
It is a collegial body made up of hundreds of members, multiple committees, vice chairs, and institutional processes. In fact, there are around 85 committees, each with its own jurisdiction, leadership, and members.
85 committees na pwede nagkasundo para tumanggap ng mga male-maleta.
No speaker can personally control every committee, much less direct the actions of other branches or government agencies. And in the Appropriations Committee itself, there are already more than 100 members, with many vice chairs, and Representative Toby Tiangco, who has been very vocal and upfront on this issue over the past months, was himself a vice chair of the Appropriations Committee in the previous Congress. So I have to ask, if there were real concerns about irregularities in the budget process, why were these not formally raised during the deliberations or even during the plenary? The budget deliberation does not stop in the House. The Senate also conducts its own deliberations, reviews its own version, and plays its own role in shaping the final budget.
So, pinapaliwanag lang niya yung process ng budget, di ba? Pero again, mga kababayan, ang nakikita talaga natin dito sa first part na lumalabas siya sa picture na hindi siya yung mastermind. Diba? Kaya nga dito, nung pinanood ko, kulang pa rin to eh. Wala pa siya actually ina-expose talaga ng todong-todo. Pero the fact na sinasabi niya na ang executive branch, understandable na ang bangag talaga, ang bangag, ang pinsan niyang bangag.
And it is not a bystander. It is an active constitutional participant in this process. After that, the House and the Senate reconciled their versions in the bicameral conference committee. Only then is the final bill transmitted to the President for approval or veto. So let us be honest about what becomes law. The national budget is not the act of one person or one chamber. It is the product of a constitutional chain involving the executive, the House, and the Senate. This is something I want the public to understand. The budget process is collective, multi-layered.
Well, naintindihan namin kung paano yung process ng budget. Di ba? At naintindihan din namin na pwede kayo magsabuatan lahat. My goodness. Ilaglag mo na. Kung gusto mong ilaglag mo na si Bangag. Ang dami pang pasikot-sikot.
And shared. Accountability must apply to everyone involved, not selectively assigned after the fact. And certainly not when it becomes politically useful. If corruption were to occur in a magnitude made known to us over the past months, then it's clear that the real corruption does not happen at the level of the general legislative approval alone. It happens at the level of execution of the General Appropriations Act. It happens when projects are implemented. It happens where projects are actually implemented, where procurement is undertaken. where monetary disbursements are actually made. And it happens when substandard projects are passed off as legitimate or when ghost projects are made to appear real. That is why command responsibility is far more logically relevant in the executive branch, where there is actually supervision, operational control, and implementation on the ground, than in the collegial legislative body, where constitutional role is deliberation and appropriation. Congress does not build flood control projects. Congress does not conduct procurement. Congress does not inspect whether a project was actually completed. Congress does not certify whether the work done was substandard or not. So if the allegation is that there was a systemic corruption in flood control implementation, then the public should ask the obvious question: where does implementation actually happen? Definitely not in the session hall of the House of Representatives. Here's the simplest way to test that theory that I am the mastermind of this scheme. If I were truly involved in a fraudulent scheme of this nature, then the first place one would expect to see that pattern would be in my own district, in the projects most easily associated with me. You would have seen it in Tacloban, but I say this with absolute certainty. You won't see it in my district. My district has 0 ghost and 0 substandard flood control projects. 0. And that is verifiable. To prove this point, I'm authorizing my staff to share and release to the public the list of all the projects in my district that the authorities may deem attributable to me. Let the public scrutinize and verify for themselves. As I already mentioned, corruption of this scale is not a one-man operation. It requires 2 things:
Nagkakasabuatan.
budget decisions and implementation on the ground. With respect to how the budget was deliberated in Congress, let me say this categorically. I was not a part of the BICAM and the small committee budget deliberations. Yes, I was updated on the general outcomes of the deliberations, but I had no visibility.
So, hugas kamay talaga siya. Malinis. Walang bahid. Hindi siyang mastermind. I-check daw. Unwilling siya na ipakita ang mga listahan ng kanyang mga proyekto sa flood control. Wala siyang ghost project. Pakinggan natin ang kasinungalingan.
With regard to the specific details of the discussions, including particular amendments or insertions approved during these closed-door deliberations. Records would show that I did not participate in those meetings and I was not privy to what exactly transpired during the deliberations. However,
Bakit tayo maraming ayuda? Sabi ni Luistro, dahil kay Speaker. Dahil yan kay Speaker yung mga ayuda. Naku naman.
2 people were instrumental in making those budget decisions: Chis Escudero and Zaldico. And
Okay, the former Senate President and Chairman. Siyempre, lalabas sa picture si Zaldico at si si Escudero ang kanyang sisi. Ganon talaga, no? Talagang hugas kamay, walang kasalanan, bukod tanging pinagpala na malinis. Pero tingnan mo naman.
once the budget becomes law, the work of implementing flood control projects, or any project for that matter, is solely within the purview of the executive, including the DPWH, certainly not by legislators. I understand the anger of the public. The Filipino people have
Gusto nga namin kaya gawing bopis lahat eh. Diba?
every right to be angry because stolen public funds are taxes derived from hard-earned money.
Aba, hard-earned money. Tapos ng property mo sa Espanya, magpaliwanag ka. Diba? Ang rancho mo sa Spain.
I'm not asking the public to look away. I'm asking everyone to look where the evidence points, not where it is politically convenient or politically motivated. So I ask,
Alam mo sa nakikita ko, nag-aaway-away na yung mga yan. Kasi may issue, meron naman ako sinabi dati pa sa inyo na talagang naglalag-aaway na ito si Satanas at saka ito. Mukhang baka hindi na nga abutin ng 2028 si Bangag. It's either, kasi kung mapapansin niyo yung flow ng ng government, yung government ni Bangag ngayon, nag-resign si Anyo, si Galvez, nakita niyo, mukhang tignan natin.
the Ombudsman and the public these questions. Who has been named in sworn testimonies and affidavits? whose name actually appeared in credible accounts made under oath. If there are sworn accounts pointing to other personalities across the chain, whether in budget deliberations or in implementation, then those leads must be pursued with the same seriousness and the same urgency. Accountability cannot be selective.
So kung yung sworn account niya, sworn statement niya, mga kababayan, mga palangga, na sinubmit, okay, nasabi niya dapat ilabas ng ombudsman, di ba? Bakit hindi niya binanggit ito? Bita yung triumvirate, sabi nga ni Palangga, na wala ka Palangga, si Joey B. So anyway, so kung nakalagay doon yung testamento niya, sworn statement niya, ang pangalan ni Sandro Marcos, si Satanas, ganyan-ganyan. And very safe kasi yung kanyang statement, executive. Marami kang pwedeng sabihin, pangalan sa executive department, di ba? Lahat ng mga kabinetes ni Bangag. Pero hindi niya ma-pinpoint yung pangalan ni Marcos Jr. Dapat dito pa lang sa pasabog na to, na ang mastermind ay ang pinsan kong addict. Para syempre, tignan natin kung hanggang saan ito. Mamaya analyze natin pinagsasabi nito.
For months, I chose silence because I believe in our legal system and in the rule of law. But my silence is now being exploited with...
Naniniwala doon sa legal system kay Boying Remulla. Alam mo, hindi nilabas yung iyong affidavit? Ba't hindi ka nagdakdak noon pa? Na yun sa affidavit ko, andyan. Ang mastermind, ang pinsan kong adik.
politically engineered and fabricated narratives. What's even more disturbing, and this is something that cannot be ignored, is that there are emerging indications that certain sectors are attempting to weaponize individuals, including Zaldico, to construct a narrative that serves their own interests.
Own interest? Pinakita na ni Zaldico yung ebidensya ng 18 Marines yung mga male-maleta. Diba? At si Zaldico umamin na nag-deliver siya ng male-maleta. Di-deliver sa'yo. O paano kami maniniwala sa'yo? Ilaglag mo na si Bangag. Sa pangalanan mo na yung pagkapati yung pinsan mong adiktus. Huwag mo ilalabas yung sarili mo sa picture. Dahil hindi ka dito ligtas, tamba.
So when the legal processes is being used against me as a political demolition job, then I will have no choice but to defend myself.
Oh, really? Diba? Anong demolition job? Dinidemolish nyo ang pera ng bayan. Kaya nagkaletse-letse ang mga tao ngayon magdadadakdak ka. Ano? Dahil hindi mo na-solve? Dahil si Lisa Tanas, si Lisa Tanas at si Bangag ay mas demonyo sa'yo? O pareho kayong demonyo? No comparison actually. Pare-pareho lang kayo.
And I will defend myself fully. I will not allow myself to be turned into the scapegoat so that others who are actually accountable can walk away clean.
O, sino yung others na yon? Ba't hindi mo banggitin?
If this is a political play, push me out and close the story, tarnishing my name and my reputation, then I'm telling
Your name is already tarnished, tamba. Kung gusto mo maniwala kami sa'yo, ilaglag mo lahat.
everyone that I will not go quietly and I will not go alone. I will not be the fall guy for other people's corruption.
Wow! Other people's corruption. So wala siya ninakaw kahit piso.
I have been in public life long enough. I have seen enough. I have heard enough. I know many things about this current administration and past administrations as well. And I
No many things. Then speak up. Dami pang pabasa-basa eh. Dapat inimbita mo, nag-live ka lahat, video lahat ng attachment. Sabi ko nga kanina, naka-ready na.
say this carefully. If this matter is to be handled as a legal issue, then let it be handled legally, soberly, and according to evidence. But if certain people insist on waging this in the court of public opinion, then I will have no choice but to defend myself publicly as well.
O, di ilagay mo nga. O, depensa mo yung sarili mo. Paano mo ma-deny yung mali-maleta? Okay na dineliver sa'yo according to Zaldico. Maglabas ka ng ebidensya. Maglabas ka kung sino ang mastermind. Kung lumalabas ka sa picture, kasi naniniwala naman kami na hindi talaga ikaw ang pinaka-mastermind, kundi si Bangag at si Liza Tanas, maglabas ka ng video, conversation, everything para paniwalaan ka namin.
To the Ombudsman, I say this with full respect. If your office truly believes in justice, then follow the sworn statements, follow the records, and follow the evidence all the way. Do not stop where it is politically convenient.
Ilabas mo na sa amin yung sworn statement mo. Ilabas mo na yung certain statement mo dito ngayon. I-post mo dyan sa page, sa social media nang malaman namin kung maniniwala kami sa iyo. Huwag mo nang utusan ng ombudsman. Dahil kung nakalagay si Bangag doon at si Satanas o kung sino pa o si Sandro, hindi nila ilalabas yun. Ikaw na ang maglabas. Not only, sabi mo, you defend yourself. Diba? In public. Then, expose mo sila in public. Para maniwala kami sa iyo, tamba. Para matapos na ito kahibangan ng pinsan mong Bangag at maubos na rin kayo lahat. Di ba? Burahin namin kayo sa lipunang ito.
Do not settle for the easiest headline. Do not confuse public pressure with prosecutorial duty. What I ask of the Office of the Ombudsman is simple. Follow the rule of law and due process. This is a serious matter.
Susunod yan po, tanga ng Remolya na yan. Yung anak nga niya eh. Di ba? Nahuli nagpadala ng kush, ng pang Bangag. Ano expect mo kay Remolya? Ba't naman kayo maniwala sa'yo, by the way?
And it should be handled with seriousness, not with haste, theatrics, or shortcuts. I'm ready and willing to respond to every allegation in the proper forum, through the proper pleadings, motions, and submissions that the law allows. And to those who think they can throw me under the bus to save themselves, this is what I have to say to you. I am ready to defend my name. My silence should not be mistaken for weakness, ignorance, or fear. I know enough to defend myself, and if I am forced to do so in public, I will. Maraming salamat.
Alright, maraming salamat daw mga palangga. Teka lang, ayusin natin yung hair natin para bongga. So what do you think? Okay? Maniniwala ba kayo kay Tambaluslos? Ano ang nakikita nyo sa kanyang statement? Pinaliwanag about the, what do you call that? Yung proseso sa budget, may deliberation, chuchu-chuchu, di ba? So ngayon, sinasabi niya na hindi lang isang tao ang nagdedesisyon, di ba? Nakasalalay ito sa executive, ganyan-ganyan. Ako naman, na nakikita ko dito, talagang nagkakaletse-letse na sila sa loob dito. Okay? Nag-aaway na sila. Kaya nakikita ko dito, baka ang bubugbugin nito talaga si Liza Tanas. Or, pero hindi pwede si Liza Tanas. Alam na natin na si Liza Tanas ang mastermind. Diba? Kasi ang pinaka-highlight or juice ng kanyang statement, mga kababayan, na iniiwas na yung kanyang sarili, na hindi siya nag-conspire, hindi siya plunderer, diba? So, yung piniframe niya sa atin, na dapat, ang managot, hindi siya dahil hindi siya ang mastermind. Ang may accountability, yung executive, which is yung kanyang pinsang Bangag. Diba? Sinasabi niya yung tungkol sa, yung proseso sa Congress, diba? Na talagang siya ay malinis, at ang nag-execute ng budget ay hindi isang tao lang, kundi, yung executive department ka daw. At pinapaliwanag niya na ang ginagawa, mga kababayan, ang ginagawa sa kanya, pinangalanan siya, like Saldico, ay pinopolitika siya, theatrical daw, chuchu-chuchu. Pina-explain niya na ang culprit ay yung gumagawa ng budget proposal, which is yung executive department na sinasabi nga niya. Then explain niya, legislature o sa Senado, Kongreso, di ba? Yung nag-approve, kaya diniin niya si Zaldico at itong si Escudero. Di ba? At ang nag-finalize ng budget, which is true, ay si Bangag. Ngayon, kahit na-explain niya about that, which is understandable, alam na natin yan, mga kababayan, ang question dito, alam mo, Tambaluslos, kung sino ang mastermind. Bakit kailangan mo pang magpaligoy-ligoy pa? Diba? Pinaliwanag na yan, nakita namin yung budget insertion, mga kickbacks. Totoo na hindi lang isang tawang pwede mag-decide dyan. Nagsabuatan nga kayo, diba? Kaya nga tinawag dyan ni Attorney Vic ng vice scam. Diba? Yung 2024. 2024 budget, 2025, lahat, yung vice scam na nag-trending, na nagsabwatan ang bicameral committee, ang Senado, ang Kongreso, para maghati-hati kayo sa inyong mga kickbacks, kaya may inilabas na mga mali-maleta. So dito, mga kababayan, ang dami na natin narinig mga explanation, budget insertions, Attorney Glenn Chong, sino pa ba? Attorney Ungab, even Pangulong Duterte, nung bago pa nila kinidnap, di ba? So ngayon, ang gusto niyang i-ano dito, ang gusto niyang i-explain sa taong bayan na wala siyang participation.